Hello, I'm Richard Morecroft, and thanks for joining us this evening on Letters and Numbers, where it's lights, camera and speedy action with pen and paper. Now let's meet our stellar cast and star of stage, screen and adding machine, Lily Serna.
Hi, Richard.
You must have found it fascinating working in television for the first time now over a, period of time. But are there a few things about the process of making television that have really struck you?
Look, I think it's been a fantastic experience. But what I particularly like about this role, and I was thinking about this the other day, I like the fact that every time an equation is solved, there's a round of applause. And I was thinking, wouldn't it be nice at home at my desk doing my uni work, every time I solve a question, there would be a group of people in the corner clapping.
That is a lovely image. I'm sure there'll be lots of applause tonight. Good to see you, Lily. And leading man of lexicography, David Astle. That proud jutting film star jaw.
A matinee idol, you reckon?
That's right, absolutely. Idol, I-D-L-E.
That's exactly right, yes.
Do you have a favourite film?
It's hard to pick a favourite, but one of my favourites would probably be The Truman Show.
A Jim Carrey film.
That's right.
Yeah.
He was the guy thinking that he was leading a normal life, and in fact he was on television. Little like you and I, we're just leading a normal life, and clearly not on television.
Oh, we're on television.
Oh, are we?
That's a revelation. Great to see you, David. Time now to greet our contestants. And returning for his 5th appearance is our carryover champion, TV writer and director, Matthew Thomason. Great to see you, Matthew. Welcome back.
Thank you, Richard.
Now, you have been doing spectacularly over the last few nights. I mean, you solved that conundrum last night in literally, I think, 2 seconds. Do you have a set of techniques that you bring to this?
Look, I don't really, Richard. I've done crosswords, including a certain DA crossword for many years now. I do target words. Sometimes a word will just hit you, and sometimes you just stare at it and it doesn't happen. How it works, I don't really know. I just feel very comfortable sometimes and I can see it. Likewise, when the puzzles are coming up on the board, sometimes you see a word and sometimes it's just not there.
Excellent work. Well, it certainly paid off, and good luck tonight.
Thanks, Richard.
And challenging Matthew tonight is Ryan Turk, an IT network engineer who was once verbally abused by tennis player Jim Courier while working as a linesman for the Australian Open. Hello, Ryan.
Hi, Richard.
How come you got abused by Jim Courier?
I called what I thought was an out call, and he ran over to me and started screaming in my face. Now, unfortunately for him, I actually reconsidered that it was out and thought, well, actually, that was in. I had to correct myself. But because he'd already yelled at me, I couldn't do so because otherwise he'd think that'd be biased.
Well, that won't be how it is tonight. We can all be very agitated and express ourselves fully. Good to see you. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Our contestants this evening, Matthew Thomason and Ryan Turk. The letters game, of course, will start us off. Each letter used in the winning word is worth 1 point. But if a contestant happens to use all 9 letters, of course, they get double, 18 points. So, Matthew, well, you've actually managed that once with the 9-letter word. We keep our fingers eternally crossed. Choose some letters for us, please.
Hi, Lily. Can
Hi,
I start
Matthew.
with a consonant, please?
You can. Let's start tonight with S.
A consonant, please.
I don't know about T, but
Wishful thinking.
I can
You're
do
not allowed
consonant.
to actually define the letters you want in this game. That's part of the game, you know.
Sorry.
A G.
A vowel, please.
E.
And another vowel, please.
O.
A consonant, please.
M.
Another consonant.
N.
And a vowel, please.
U.
Another consonant, please.
L.
And finally, a vowel.
And last letter, A.
Thank you, Lily. Our first clock for the night. How did you go with the first word, Matthew?
I got a 6, Richard.
Sounds good. What about you, Ryan?
A 6.
A nice start for both of you. Let's go with yours first, Ryan.
I got gnomes.
And you, Matthew.
Gnomes.
So would you just verify that you both have the same word?
Yeah.
Ryan, I did like the way that you said, I've got gnomes. It sounded like you'd got a rather uncomfortable condition of some sort. But David, they both got gnomes.
And I tell you what, the reason I think both of these contestants found gnomes, that was a 6-letter word in the first 6 letters. And the trick to this game is to try and look beyond that first word you see or that longer word that you lock in. And in fact, there's lots of 7s here, lounges and mangles, and there's also an 8 with moulages.
Oh, that's an interesting one. How do you spell that, David?
That's M-O-U-L-A-G-E-S, which is the same source of the word mould, and essentially to make a mould out of plaster of Paris, usually.
Ah, well found. So a very nice one there, but very nice 6 points each for Matthew and Ryan. Nice start for the letters, so let's keep going. And Ryan, would you make your first selection on the show, please?
Thanks, Richard. Could I start with a consonant, please?
You can. T.
I also have another consonant, please.
P.
And another consonant.
R.
And a vowel.
E.
And another vowel, please.
I.
And another consonant.
N.
Another vowel.
U.
And finally, another consonant, please.
C. And one more.
And one more to go yet.
I think I'll go a consonant, thank you.
All right. Ending with T.
Got to get the right number. 30 seconds. Well, Ryan, I think you might have introduced a new phrase into the language there. I'll go a consonant. So I look forward to hearing other people use that from time to time. How many did you get this time?
I got 6, Richard.
6 for you, Matthew?
An 8 for me, Richard.
Oh, that sounds very promising. Let's hear your 6 first, Ryan.
I got punter.
And your 8?
Tincture.
Tincture. Now, there's a beautiful word, David.
It's a wonderful 8.
Sort of
well
like
played.
tincture of iodine or something of that
That's
sort.
right. It's a medicinal solution, often suspended in alcohol. In fact, I think it's worthy of applause. I think it's a
It
great
is a
8.
great 8. Good stuff. And what did you come up with, David?
Couldn't beat it. Great get.
Absolutely. Great work for Matthew. 8 points. Time to go to our first numbers of the night now. And Matthew, you've got your engines revving hot after that last letters round. What would you like?
No prizes for guessing this one. 2 large, 4 small, please.
Thanks, Matthew. 2 large, 4 small. And our first set of numbers. 8, 10, 5, 7, and the 2 large, 175. The target to reach is 917.
30 seconds to do it. Well, Matthew, you've certainly been very consistent with your pattern of combination selection for the numbers.
Well, that is my one technique.
That's
yes,
your
I
one
suppose.
technique
Yes.
that
My
you're prepared
safety.
to confess.
Yes.
How did it work for you this
I got
time?
917.
Spot on the target. Very nice. Ryan?
917.
As well. Excellent. But Matthew, take us through your method first, please.
Lily, multiply 10 by 100 to get 1,000.
10 by 100 is 1,000.
If you subtract 75 from that to get 925.
Take away 75 is 925.
And subtract 8 from that to get 917.
Subtract the 8, 917.
Very neat. And right on the number that we're looking for. Ryan, was your method the same?
I did it exactly the same way.
Would you, again, just verify that you've done the same thing? Was that the one you used as well, Lily?
I've done the same again, Richard.
Absolutely spot on. Great result, and 10 points each for Matthew and Ryan. Ryan's on 16, Matthew on 24, and we're heading for our first break. It's a word mix for you, of course. Cycle men. And the clue this time, to be let off with nice weather. Back after the break. off.